All right. Well, shall we do this then?
Let us let us
All right.
review.
Hey, this is Michael Gilbert from Flotsam and Jetsam, and you're watching Heavy Metal Horror.
I am Montag. Mass revolution. What goes up must come down, but not always.
Hey, this is Chop Top. It's time for another review, so stay tuned.
And Dreadbull.
And you are watching and listening to Heavy Metal. Oh, kiddies. Tonight, we did a little pivot. We were going to be interviewing Nikki Law of Nikki Breaking the Law PR, and just things didn't work out tonight, but that's okay. Nikki, we love you. We know you're going to be coming on. But so we're going to do an album that Nikki's company sent to us, and we appreciate all the music that we get from you, Nikki. This is an album by a band called Sermon, which I don't know anything about. I like going in fresh. So this album is called
Some would call it unprepared.
Yes.
We'll call it fresh.
We'll call it fresh. That's right.
That's the professional way.
Yeah, exactly. Right. It doesn't sound so bad.
Right,
Here's my list of questions. I got none.
Mhm.
So we're going to do a live reaction. We'll listen to a track. We'll talk about it. We're going to work our way through this new album. Thanks again to Nikki Law at PR Productions, Breaking the Law PR at sending this record to us. So let me see if I can share a screen.
Did you the name of the album? Did you
Of Golden Verse. Yeah.
Golden Verse.
Of Golden Verse.
Interesting title.
Yeah, Sermon. So I know nothing of this band. So here we go. Okay. Sermon.
Bodies on the water, they feel the push and pull. Bodies in
The
the
Great Marsh.
distance, they feel the tumble ringing through the clearing. They feel the ebb and flow ringing through the
I kind of like it.
Yeah.
Mine's a little Opethy.
Yeah.
Yellow on that?
Okay.
Could you turn it up a smidge?
Sure.
That's
better.
a little more volume.
Darkened imagery already gets you going.
You hear it okay? Or no?
Sounds about the same. Okay, I think, is this into track 2 now? Royal?
Yeah.
Kind of a Tool vibe to me.
Yep.
Yeah, I like the drum pattern.
Ooh, yeah, I'm digging this, man.
Apparently there's only two guys in the band.
What?
Yeah, that's what the picture is.
2 guys?
The guy named Him, H-I-M, and another guy, but I don't know what they do. It's like Pathos and Logos.
Dude, this really has a Grip Inc. vibe to me.
Yeah. Yeah, it's got gripping, cool,
Yeah.
syncopated rhythm, melody. Yeah.
Really like the drum mix.
Yes.
of that Main and Team kind of vibe from some of his local deliveries. Like here.
See this being very atmospheric live. You know, with some smoke right behind the band. You can see the silhouettes.
Lots of red lights.
Lift the golden gown to the unbelief. Blow the pouring sound through the horns with teeth.
Nice to hear a vocalist.
Definitely has that feel for Main and Team though. Oh yeah, see that.
Damn. His vocals are a really nice fit.
Power.
Oh, nice drum break.
Recorded guitar parts underneath. Works pretty well.
Wow.
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 That was
Ooh.
fantastic.
Okay.
Oh, wow. Dude, that really reminded me, like Grip Inc. always had that huge bombastic drum sound.
Mhm.
And that really reminded me a lot of that.
You know,
Man,
Dredd,
love
there's vocal moments, like especially near the end there, I could hear Gus Chambers doing
totally. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah, I'd be interested to know if that's an influence for these guys, or if it just so happened that they have a similar style. But yeah,
could
even the
be.
vocals.
Yeah, it's very
Oh.
similar style at Grimp, and with the little touches of Tool, because it's kind of got that hypnotic kind of
Mhm.
effect. And I could see with the cover, you know, like that, it almost looks like an Indian Vimana.
Yeah.
The the spaceships that were drawn, but even the patterns on there, it's very hypnotic, like a mandala, and it's just kind of like
Yeah,
pulling me
yeah,
in.
good point.
Yeah.
And
I really like those moments where you could hear like the tool, oh, that Maynard Keenan could be singing that part there because
Yeah.
the way he kept
In
going up
similar
the
style.
register, it's like wow.
but not imitative. They're not trying to be Tool 2.0. So yeah, and this is no slam to Sermon or anyone. It's just, our frames of reference. That's when we're bringing in things that remind me of us, of something that we've heard before, and so that's when that triggers us. But yeah, I'm so impressed. Never having heard this band before. Nikki sent us the promotion, never really knowing this band, and I'm just thinking, it's almost like we are in a new golden age of heavy and hard music. Metal. It's like all these bands.
Yeah, every new
out there.
band we get exposed to is like, wow, okay,
Yeah.
this is like, I don't know. It's always surpasses my expectations.
Well, what kicked me in
Yeah.
the nuts right away was going into that second song, which is the drum pattern. I was just like,
Yeah.
wow, that's really.
And I
fucking
love that heavy
kept
guitar
that
riff
steady.
too.
Yeah, kept that steady all the way throughout the song. So
Mhm.
yeah, very decent, very good song.
Man.
Yeah, very atmospheric.
Mhm.
All right,
Good,
shall
good.
we go on with Light the Witch?
Let's do that.
Right.
Tribal drumming.
Yes. That's like part of the seems to be the signature sound. Percussive elements. There's these big sweeps, emotional sweep. Those choruses that kind of vaulted right up.
You have a hypnotic quality.
Oh yeah.
Lots of vocal diversity.
Mm-hmm. Even in the quiet parts, those drums are just going, man.
Yeah, they're relentless.
Mm-hmm. production value is incredible. Sound is so thick and layered.
Wow, his ring.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah, so we're getting a sense of their sound. Big,
Yeah.
big tribal drumming.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, some
Is
really interesting atmospheric layers.
almost
Do
like
it.
little industrial tinge as well.
Yeah,
Added.
I was thinking Ramstein at certain moments. Just a
Oh.
little hint, like a little
Yeah.
dash of Ramstein in there.
But not so mechanical. You know, it
Right, not
sounds
as
more
industrial.
organic. Right, the industrial
Mhm.
part. Right, it's that machine-like quality, but it's warmth. It's like, and it's not just a double bass kicking in. You know, these are toms. These are big
Yeah.
big toms and that are being hit. You know,
And those
I'm sure
those little symbol like ting, ting, you know,
yeah,
little
little
like
bit of
like, wow,
sounds.
very nice.
Yeah, a lot of layering. I'd love to see a video of them performing. You know, this
Yeah.
band. So now I'm going to look for them.
I'm-
Nikki had mentioned him in an email about I forget someone else that we were talking about, and I didn't know who she was talking about because I never heard of Sermon, and so
Mhm.
now I know. So I have to go find that email because I'd love to have them on for sure.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
like the vocals. A lot of interesting styles mixed into
Mhm.
every song.
Yeah,
Mhm.
there's those big bombastic choruses and those like almost like wailing. You know, it's a very emotive style of singing,
Yeah.
very much like Tool. You hear that Maynard just
Totally.
belts it out. You know, it
Yeah.
comes from a deep place, and I'm getting that in those places. So, totally impressed so
Yeah.
far with this band. I don't know how many albums they have out. I want to say this is their second album, their sophomore effort. I don't know. Dred, you got that information?
I don't have it handy. I'd have to
Okay.
look that up.
Hello, Sir Reginald. Looking good
Yeah,
as always.
Archie's he
Is he,
does.
is he digging the music?
Yeah, well, I got headphones on.
Oh, okay.
He just digs the attention.
Yeah, of course.
He
So-
doesn't like when I shut the door and leave him out.
No,
Oh,
yeah. None of us do. All right. Well, while you're looking up, I'm going to go into the next song. This is In Black.
So this is a short one, so we probably do this one and the one after. This is only a minute long.
Oh,
In Black,
okay.
and
All
then
right.
followed up by The Distance.
Okay. Good to know.
Yep.
In black and then the distance. That's what.
Yep.
Correct.
Here we go.
All right.
Oh, I like how it bleeds right into that
That
song.
was, yeah. Or that tribal. Solid bass line, groove line.
Yeah, I'd like to know what percussion their instruments are playing.
Yeah, very. Love that.
Yeah, there's got to be more guys in this band, you know?
No doubt. Yeah, I wonder how they pull this off live.
Maybe have like, touring musicians perhaps.
Yeah, maybe.
But I don't know. I don't know much about the band. This is a very exciting band.
Yeah, lots of little details to keep it interesting.
Mhm.
You know.
Yeah. That syncopation. Off beat.
Man, really impressed with the drumming and the vocals.
Yeah. It's very emotional music, very melodic. There's a lot of emotion.
Yeah, he's really pouring a lot into the vocals.
It's like an ethereal quality. Wow.
Yeah, that use of reverb almost as another instrument, where they're just taking his voice and just making it echo forever. It's like being in a big
Yeah.
cathedral or something like that. That was the imagery I'm getting, this echoing, like monastic kind of chants you know, in a way.
Yeah.
I don't know if these guys are like have been to like Nepal or anything like that, but to get that kind of Asian, those tribal syncopations and rhythms are just woven through
Yeah,
the music.
there feels like a spiritual sort of element to this music. It feels
Yeah.
sort of spiritual in a way, but kind of dark at the same
Yes.
time.
Oh yeah, yeah.
You know, very dark vibe.
I like the vocalist, what he does too. Now he hitting those higher level in the range, but then we go these transitions, like in that previous song, goes to a quieter moment. It's just seamless. Like he brings it right back down and matches the music perfectly. So yeah, it's really interesting. There's
Yeah.
an ethereal quality to them, I think, for sure. A dark ethereal, maybe.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very interesting. Very interesting. It's elements of the bands we had talked about, but its own entity, and I am really digging it. It's like it's kind of pulled me in. You know, it's a very interesting album.
You can really get lost in this, you know,
Hmm.
just kind of
Yeah.
this is the kind of music you just kind of lay back, close your eyes and just get lost in it, you know.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'd really love to see the drummer, the percussionist, because there's a lot of things going on. I know he's playing at a traditional drum set, but he's just always busy with those toms, and I can hear those offbeat cymbals, the china he was playing, and which I like hearing. I like hearing that. And they change it up. It was on the beat and then off the beat. I'm like, okay, that's nice. But this guy's, if it's just one person playing on the drum kit and playing these rhythms all the time, it's a whole different style of drumming because he's not playing, the traditional hi-hat and, 'cause he's not just keeping a beat. It's the
Right.
drums are probably the most evenly utilized instrument here between everything else. It's just so prevalent or prevalent and pervasive throughout the whole song. It's every bit as important as the guitars, as the vocals. It's all
Yeah, they're the whole
going.
foundation of the sound, you know.
Yeah.
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 Well, and piggybacking on that would be, Montag is described as well. It's like each instrument, though, it's not overpowering the rest of everything out. Not the vocals, the guitar things are tasteful when they bring that in. The bass lines are really nice. And they're all kind of almost doing their own little thing. But man, you look at that foundation, it has to be percussionist. It's just keeping the drumming, keeping that going. But
Yeah.
it doesn't take away from the rest of the performances. So I
No.
like that.
No, it's a very interesting sound.
Yeah.
So, all right, let's move on to the next track. This is what track 5,
6. This will be track
6,
6
track
here.
6.
Mhm.
Looks like Senescence or
Senescence.
or Senescence. Yeah, that's probably it. All right, track 6.
A long one here, 7:46 here, longest track on the album.
All right. I love that keys are nice.
Yeah. Hello, darkness, my old friend.
Yeah.
It gives me that vibe, though. Listen to that.
It's
It
like
gives
the
me that
brightest thing
vibe.
we've heard on the album so far. You know?
Wow. Almost like a mellotron. It's like an achingly beautiful kind of piece right there. Kind of haunting almost a little bit.
Rusted and exceeds its peak.
That reminds me a little bit of Zeppelin's No Quarter. He's giving it that.
Up to the pale ceiling. Call the Creator. Look him in the eye.
Drum sounds so nice.
Yeah.
And they're so big compared to the mix, you know? Finally.
Got Montag's mix.
Finally. And this snare drum that he's playing, it must be a really deep snare. The snares are a little loose, so the head's loose. And they're adding a lot of reverb on it because it's kind of buried, but it's a little bit muddy. It's not crisp and sharp like a piccolo snare. It's almost like a marching drum, usually about a foot,
Yeah,
14
that's
inches.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is an ocean.
Void kind of feel right here. I can see where you can close your eyes in this album. Just like, funeral march kind of thing.
Caress the
Gonna push pause here. All right. Wow.
Oh.
You know, I
I-
thought that was a little, I don't know, a little too much atmosphere. Like I like some atmosphere in music. I thought that one just dragged on a little too long. Personally, there were some cool parts to it.
Yeah, you could
Um,
have shaved off probably agreed Dread, maybe a couple minutes off it or something.
but it's probably
Yeah.
meant to be listened to. You just lay back. Maybe you should
Yeah,
be a
like
little
you were
high.
saying. Yeah.
And,
This would be a very different listening experience
yeah.
if we
and
were as
that's
high as
maybe that's
Chop Top and I were yesterday.
maybe that's what it's made for.
Well, I heard
Just take the trip.
yeah, the intro kind of reminded me. I know I goofed off, like "Hello Darkness, my old friend." That's not whatever, but there was almost that what they're doing on keys reminded me of "No Quarter," the beginning of the Zeppelin song, and then near the end, I heard some Pink Floyd moments, and you still had the amazing vocal range of this vocalist going everywhere, and I like the transitions during this, especially the drums just going like this, and he does this one fill, and it gets a little speeds up the tempo a little bit more, and then you got the guitar player doing some other stuff near the end as well, rhythmically, so underneath, and I thought, yeah, that's pretty good. I could see maybe a couple minutes could be shaved, but other than that, I mean, it's a really engaging, another emotional track from this band. So
I actually like this one is one of my favorites so far. I
I'm
liked
kind of in the
I
same
liked the
place.
pacing of it. I like the slow melodic journey because it's so different from the other ones, and it's kind of Spartan and it's hypnotic. It's still kind of swirly to me. And
Yeah,
one thing I was really focusing on is when it does eventually kind of become more orchestral and everyone kind of joins in, the drum fills, it's mostly with the bass drum, dun 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 dun. I mean, it doesn't have that traditional 2/4 rhythm. You're not gonna, and then the snare
yeah,
comes in, it's really sparingly. It's kind of buried a little bit. And I one thing I picked up is he does this like little vocal run where he kind of does like it lifts his voice up just real briefly, and then they re-loop that like 4 times, like I could hear it echoing,
wow,
rhythmically. Like they are using every element of his vocals as another instrument, as another layer of music, and it's just wash. All of this stuff coming together is producing this kind of a beautiful, mesmerizing, shimmering, dark wall of sound. And
yeah,
the the engineer in me, the musician in me is just totally gaga over this band. I'm just like, wow,
yeah.
okay, this
Good.
is really great. So I appreciated this track, just because of it. It took its time to get where it wanted to go, and I was actually kind of not wanting, like, when it sped up. I was like, no, no, I'm cool in this area. I was just so content,
Mhm.
But it's cool. This is an album that is going to get better every listen because you were going to find those subtleties.
Mhm.
Even early on, there was something happening, and then you hear this little tiny little chime, like a bell, ting. Hit this bell on the ride. I'm like,
Yeah,
oh, one solitary note. It just stands out, you know,
yep,
and it's like the careful construction of these songs is really kind of amazing. So,
Yeah, you can tell they put a lot of time and a lot of effort into to filling those little spaces, and adding little interesting details all over the place. I really, really appreciate that.
mhm. Yeah,
You
yeah.
know, yeah, I love those little secret, those little Easter eggs. When I listen to music like this,
oh, yeah,
and they
Yeah.
definitely have a consistent vibe. This album has a very
hmm
strong, consistent vibe throughout.
yes,
Yeah, I don't
sir.
know did you find out if this was their second or third
I believe it
album?
is. See, it's a little tough because I think there's another band called Sermon, a different band. But yeah, to the best of my
I
knowledge
think
here,
him
this
has
is
he
their
wears a
second.
mask, I believe, the singer, him,
Yeah, I
I
think their
think.
first album was 2019 called Birth of the Marvelous. And yeah, so I think this is their second album.
Okay.
This
Okay.
particular
Yeah,
band.
I got to hear the first one now. I want to see what this
Hmm.
band's all about, but I am totally digging it. So, all right, this is track what? Track eight,
7.
seven, seven. Okay, and there's 10 tracks on this album.
Correct.
All right, Wake the Silent.
Those drums, man.
Right back into it.
Always busy.
Oh, wow.
Boy, good boarding.
A cool riff.
Semi-sensation.
Very grip right here.
Damn.
Right there. Good ball, Greg.
What time are they in right now?
That's grip.
Yeah. No.
Hell yeah.
crazy fucking sustain on the vocal.
Wow.
Yeah. Wow.
Well, that was a monster track.
Right.
I was not expecting that. I love that that followed up their most atmospheric, kind of chill track,
Yeah.
and then they follow
Set
up with
up
this
for
thing.
the big, probably the most closest thing to quote unquote metal
Yeah.
on this album. This like almost like a speed metal, thrash metal, that double bass just pounding
And
the whole
even
time.
yeah, even so, the guitars are still backseat to the drums and vocals. Like I'm
Yeah.
trying to think of another metal band that is so vocal drum out front. I can't think of any
I
that are
mean,
so heavily
Grip is
driven.
close, and it's only in its atmospheric ways. I mean, some of
Mhm.
those songs they did, like on our second album, I thought were very much like that. Like I can't even think of a track name, but I can hear it in my head. But it's that same kind of bombastic,
Mhm.
approach. But the melody, the guitars were playing these really interesting chords, like almost like dissonant, discordant, like
Yes.
like odd chords. They weren't,
Yeah.
major power chords. It was nothing like that. It was like, oh, those three notes are kind of play off one another in a weird way, but it worked perfectly within the context of the song. Yeah, this is
And then
a
those few quieter moments, they like these, like 3, 4, 6 guitar lines, they're single note thing, but it's very nice over top of what's going on underneath. So you can still hear it, but it's doing something really, again, it's the emotional, dark emotion that just brings through, there's a ethereal kind of quality to this band. It's really cool.
Yeah, they're doing something really different, really unique.
yeah.
Yeah,
I don't see how, unless it's completely by accident, I don't see how they can't be fans of Grip Inc. Honestly.
I know.
yeah, I just it's such a strong. Yeah, there's
Man, does that
so
remind
many
me of
gripping
Gus
moments.
Chambers, right? That's
Yeah.
Gus.
Right.
I mean, like even the Grip Inc. didn't do this stuff with every song. It was just it's reminiscent of this, but this is a hallmark of who they are as a band. And yeah, I'm totally digging it. It's like, yeah, it's a very different percussive sound, and it just brings it right out. And yeah, it's I've never heard any other bands that kind of do anything like this. This is completely fresh and new and exciting.
Yeah.
Really great.
Yeah,
Sermon,
that
we got to have you on. Fuck, this album is great. All right, so we got that was track 7, right?
that was 7. Wake the Silent. Yeah,
Okay, what's track 8?
Golden.
Golden.
Little
All right.
7-minute number here.
Ooh, all right, here we go. Oh, it's the end of Wake the Silent.
Yeah.
There we go.
There we go.
Sounds like 80. A lot of music. Something like what you'd hear in Stranger Things. Kind of dark and melodic.
Huh? Yeah.
The 80s pop though at that beginning.
Yeah. Is that a keyboard?
Yeah.
Boy, body and guitar stuff going on.
Oh. It almost sounds odd coming out of
Oh,
this
that's
hypnotic
nice.
stuff.
Yeah.
It's great though.
God, that drumming, man.
I know. It's like who wins the man of the match?
He's a busy man.
It's like an 80s soundtrack. Sounds like that beginning and that end right
Yeah.
there. That works together. Though. Works very well.
Wow.
Wow,
Fuck,
dude.
that was the fastest 7 minutes I think I've could remember. It did not feel like 7 minutes at all.
No, it didn't.
Wow, that drummer, Jesus Christ, what
That
an
dude's-
amazing talent.
Yeah.
He's just I got to see him now. I got to watch him play that song, all these
Mhm.
songs. And this had all the elements, and it's surprising the heavy guitar and the melodic guitar. It sounded like a traditional metal band, if we want to put those words around, quotation marks around that word, but heavy major chord riffs and like, oh, that's now we're into like a metal riff here. This song had all the elements in it, and but just musically, just beat you over the head, and
Yeah, a
wow.
few of those riffs during that song right there just gave me stank face big time. I was just like,
Yeah.
oh my gosh, that's nice.
Yeah. That
Yeah.
drummer, listening to him that first time
Dude.
through that fill where he's like doing that, and then he goes into these like really fast like quadruplets, like
Mhm.
oh fuck, yeah, he's just so good. I gotta see this guy. I gotta watch him play. I just need to see what he does, man.
Mhm.
Wow.
Yeah, that was impressive. That entire song, man. The drumming was just relentless.
Amazing. Whew. Okay. That was track.
That was
Eight.
8. So
Eight.
probably the next two we'll do together because number 9 is a minute and a half
Mhm.
called Center, and then the final track is called Departure.
Okay.
How long is that one?
About just under 7 minutes.
Okay. Here we go with Center and Departure. This musical interlude comes in because you almost need a break. You need like a breather from that intensity of that last song.
Oh,
I
yeah.
agree.
You know, it's like a palate cleanser.
So James Stewart is the the percussionist and drummer.
Amazing
James
percussionist.
Stewart, yeah. Whoa, okay. Wow.
Like a blast beat.
Yeah. Again, an unexpected turn.
Yeah.
That's phenomenal. Damn. God, man.
He's playing 16th and 32nd. And they fast.
Oh.
Those bass drum.
Damn, dude.
They're like 30-second notes. like George Coley is fast.
Wow. Okay. It's, wow. He's upped his game here.
Yeah, he was iffy.
As if, yeah, as if he wasn't impressive enough already.
Yeah, Jesus, right.
Oh, well, the script was great.
I've been hearing these like little times.
Till the circle is complete, they're walking on deceit. As they reach far beneath, gather round, they cease to be. Till the circle is complete, they're all staring at defeat. Hold the night star's face. From the earth they fall from grace.
The burst into flame playing that fast.
Been really fast.
Wow, guys.
Holy
Another
cats.
phenomenal album. Wow.
Wow. That's just fucking great.
Wow.
Whoa, whoa, hey now. Stop that noise. Fuck. What an album.
Yeah, usually I'm not a, overall, usually I'm not a fan of any album that doesn't have real guitar, regular guitar soloing in it and stuff, but I didn't miss it with this. With everything, my God, that drummer and the vocalist with his range and the power, what he's so expressive and everything that just blended so well together. It's some industrial tinge stuff. You had some discordant kind of chording here and there. You had sped up drums, slowed down drums. You had all these ethereal kind of dark musical interludes and stuff that really blended well. It's just overall really great listen. It's something though I think that you could get immersed in real quickly by putting on the earbuds or headphones and saying, "Yep,
Yeah.
So I agree with Dread saying that earlier. You get really immersed in this.
Yeah, and it's different. It's something like if you're in the mood for something different, this is a band you could go to and just get something new and fresh, a different take on the genre, really. I mean, man, yeah, that was it was unusual, it was interesting, it was surprising, time and time and time again. Like they just kept hitting us with something different, something we weren't expecting. And yeah, I love and appreciate that.
And that last song, the departure, the actual melody, the tempo is actually very slow.
Yeah.
But that drummer's putting those 30-second notes in.
Mhm.
You know, it's just like and just blast beats in this otherwise kind of slow song, and just like propelling it into another, dimension. Yeah, the vocals are emotional, and there's a place of like wailing and darkness and beauty, and it is such an emotional record. It's such a passionate album. You don't always hear, you can hear good vocalists, but they don't always have that quality where it's something coming from the depths of this person.
Yeah,
It's
right.
just coming out,
You
and
can
it's a
tell there's something coming out of his soul with his vocal performance, you
A
know.
lot of times some vocalists you hear are just going through the motions and you know it, but not this guy, man. This is just
yeah,
totally passionate.
it's not just being a good singer, or a good vocalist. Yeah,
A lot of
this is there's
inflection, a lot of things
yeah, it's coming from a depth and a place that is just at times heart-wrenching and aching and beautiful. And but man, what was the drummer's name?
It is James Stewart.
James Stewart.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and then him,
yes.
guitars, vocals, keys,
on
and
the show, buddy.
tongue drum. The
Oh, so
singer.
him does everything else.
And there
I
is a
want.
bass player, Lawrence Jenner, plays
Okay.
bass.
Okay, I've only seen the one picture. It was the two guys. I'm like, there's got to be more than two guys doing this. Okay, so he must do all the keys and like maybe do some like sample or triggers and things like that, or pattern, but holy cats. Still three guys making all this music.
Yeah.
Just amazing. Just amazing. Yeah. Wow. I am continually amazed at and just thrilled beyond all expectations
Yeah.
listening to these records.
Yeah.
And we hadn't got a dud yet. You know,
Not even
I mean,
close, like the opposite.
no.
Every
Yeah.
album has been like blowing us away. Like,
Yeah, it's
wow. Okay.
okay, I become fans of this band. Like, oh wow,
Mhm.
I like Insomnium. I'm like, man, where have we been for the last
Yeah,
9 albums?
exactly. Yeah, you feel like you've been living in a box somewhere.
Yeah, or Rotting
a
Christ.
rock.
It's like, wait a minute, what?
Yeah.
What is this? Every band, every album we've done has been great. This is no exception. Wow, an amazing song, album. Guys, we want to have you on the show. Please come
Yes.
on. We would love to talk with you about this music. I want to know, like, okay, when you get together with a bunch of guys, you're like, hey, let's start a band. Okay, what do you want to do? We just play around. Like, how the fuck do you get to a band like this?
Yeah. What
Like,
is your
how
creative
does this
process?
sound evolve
Yeah.
as a creative process? Like, how do you get into this kind of atmosphere? How do these songs get written? Like the drummer's like, yeah, I'm gonna put down like some tribal beats. I'm not gonna play drums the whole fucking time. Like I'm just not gonna
Yeah.
stop
I'm
unless
just
it's
gonna
to
go
do a
nuts.
blast beat.
I don't care. Yeah, right. I don't care what the beat is.
I
I'm
hope they
gonna
have
go
a tank
crazy.
of oxygen attached to his face the whole time while he plays.
I don't know
live.
how he has arms and legs left after track 10. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
That was amazing.
Amazing.
I wish I would have had the lyrics in front of me. I would love to read the lyrics.
Yeah.
Along
Yeah,
with listening to this, because
Mhm.
yeah, I got a feeling there's some really interesting stuff going on there.
Oh, that'll be our homework.
lyrically.
You
Yeah.
know, as we
Yeah,
as
I'd
we go.
love to find the lyrics.
Yes. Yeah. Well, thank you, Sermon, for such a great album. Thank you, Nikki Law, for sending it to us and letting us do a live reaction. We so appreciate it. And I'm gonna talk to you, Nikki. I'm gonna email you. We got to get them on, him and the rest of the band. We got to get Sermon on. This is a band I'd love to see it live.
I think this would be
That's
great
much
music live.
experience.
Holy crap.
So, wow, there you go. Sermon of Golden Verse. I think we've
Bravo,
said it.
Sermon.
Yeah. Just amazing. Just has
Right on.
totally made my Sunday. That's just unexpected new music. So,
Mhm.
wow. All right. Anything else we say before we get out of here?
Yeah, can't really say anymore.
All right, we've said it.
Fantastic release.
Yes. Hey, you can find Heavy Metal Horror on unsaneradio.com. Listen to full episodes or download to your device. You can find us on Facebook, Heavy Metal Horror Podcast. On Instagram, look for Montag Lewis, one word. Our YouTube page, Heavy Metal Horror Podcast. If you're watching, that's where you're at. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe buttons. And if you know someone who'd like our show, tell them about us. This has been Montag, Master of Illusion.
Chop top.
Dreadbull and Reggie.
And you've been watching and listening to, okay, Reggie, bring up the horns.
Heavy
Metal
Reggie. Love you, Reggie.
This is Doug Helvering, and you have been listening to Heavy Metal Horror, the best podcast that you've never heard before.